Brought to you by our sponsors: William Richmond Inc., Farmers Home and Auto Insurance, the Bob Koski Agency, R.E. Graves Heating and Air Conditioning, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, McNeil's Group Properties, the Charleston Senior Community, and Chesapeake's Bounty. Now, here's Forecaster John Bordasg with a live forecast update.
Hey, and good afternoon, Southern Maryland. I'm Forecaster John Bordasg with you right now to give you the latest update here from the Storm Center on really the aftermath now of our winter storm as we begin to see it wind down. But that's not to say snow is not still falling. We have a widespread area still seeing snow, and this is a live look outside at Leonardtown right now. And with this, we are seeing snow continuing to fall. The roads do not look as bad as they had probably about an hour and a half ago. The lower snowfall rates have allowed the road crews to kind of chip away at the snow that had lingered here on roadways. And we are looking at a lot of snow on grassy areas. I've been seeing lots of 3- and 4-inch reports from all across Calvert County, really south of about Huntingtown, through a lot of St. Mary's County, north of about Great Mills. And we do have snow emergencies in effect for Calvert County and St. Mary's County until further notice. This is because we have these snow-covered roadways on primary and secondary roads, and this is giving you a heads up. Don't travel if you don't need to, and if you do need to, take it slow, use some caution. I am seeing some cars here on the live cam with snow on them. Make sure if you're heading out that you are clearing the snow off your cars. Now, let's get into how things currently look. So let's not look at futurecast. We want to make sure we are looking at the latest radar. Let me make sure that I have that up. There we go. And as we look at this, the baggage of our snowstorm is nearing I-95, but it is still snowing for much of Southern Maryland. I mean, we continue to look at heavier bands set up across our region this morning. And what I want to do, and I didn't set this up prior, that is 100% my mistake. See if I can't get my pen tool loaded back out here. Let's see, you're going to load somewhere. While I wait for, oh, there it goes. Okay, so let me come over here. And there we go. Let me move this over. So we continue to look at snow bands. Let's get we have a heavier one trying to set up through here, one setting up over here, one that continue. So we continue to see these snow bands move through the region. They are gradually moving off to the east and north with the back edge of snow all the way back here. And everything will move through the region. We are still looking at heavy snow through much of the region though. So again, while the snow might be trying to wind down, and it will over about the next hour or two, we are still looking at heavy snow. Coming over here to our sensitive radar in this version of radar, well, looks like all rain. It's actually just non-winter mode and allows us to really look and see what exactly is going on. This shows us that we have, heavy snow, moderate to heavy snow setting up in these bands all across the region. I mean, everywhere I'm circling, that's a higher radar return. That is an area where we're looking at, heavier snow. And again, all of this is moving here to the north and east, and it should be over with by about 2 p.m. Now, if I show you a general look at snowfall totals across the region today, let me just turn the radar off real quick. A general idea for the amount to which we saw. Again, this is very general. I've not done an actual in-depth look at this, so I'll have that post up later today with what actually fell. But it looks like really like this region here. That's circled area. So southern Calvert County, northern St. Mary's County. This is where we saw that bullseye of totals that were like 3 to 4 inches. I've seen plenty of 3 to 4 inch reports in this region. Now, outside of that, we've seen more general 2 to 3 inch reports that kind of span an area that looks like this across our region. And actually, it probably even extends up a little further north, And then again, this is your 2 to 3 inch area with more like 1 to 2 inches falling down here. So we've seen a lot of snow, and the bullseye today really has been this area here in southern Calvert and northern St. Mary's and parts of Charles County as well. That's where at least I have seen a lot of 4 and 5 or 3 and 4 inch reports. If you have a snow report, let me know, especially if it's different from what I'm currently showing, because that helps to give me a better idea of what we are looking at across the area. So again, this snow will continue to move through the region. It will eventually move out. If I put radar into a looping mode, these yellows here, that represents areas where we saw heavy snow that over an inch an hour. That moved through our region, and it really was focused here on parts of southern Calvert and St. Mary's County. Look over here throughout the radar loop. We continue to see bands and bands of heavy snow move through the region, and that 1 inch an hour plus rate we continue to see across the region helped to really accumulate that 3 to 4 inch amount. It only snowed for about 3 to 4 hours. It's still snowing, but we didn't really switch over to all snow until about 8 o'clock or so, 8:30. But we're just such a 12:30, and we've seen it 1 inch an hour rates for about 4 hours now, and we talked about this potential. Now, what I want to do is come back over here to the graphics. This was the forecast I had coming into the storm, and the local forecast I had for our region showed a general area of about 1 to 3, 2 to 4. This forecast looks to have done just fine. I was worried many of us would be on the lower end, and down towards like Scotland and Ridge, you're closer to 1 inch than 2, but many areas between Pax River and Waldorf, you're right in that range. Lots of 3 and 4 inch reports, and some scattered 5 inch reports, and I see lots of comments still coming down in St. Leonard. It's still heavy, smaller flakes in Great Mills, and slick roadways in Leonardtown through Callaway into Great Mills and Lexington Park. So we've seen that all day today. You can get past this, and these were the 2 areas we were setting up as a potential boom or bust scenario zone. Area 1 did not see that 3 to 6 really verify. Some isolated 5 and 6 reports, but far more 2 to 4 inch reports out that way. Our region I'd outlined as an area that our snow totals could be underdone and we could overachieve. And I know a lot of people doubted that because we were warm yesterday and we saw rain for the first bit of the storm. But when we switched over to snow, and you all know this, it really came down and it accumulated fast. Here are my school odds for tomorrow. 50-50 shot of a delay. I say this with the caveat, look at that green text. Different learning styles mean this forecast could vary county to county. I do not know what your specific school is doing. If your specific school is like all virtual, I don't know what this means for you. In a non-pandemic world, though, this would be like a 50-50 shot of a delay. Tomorrow, this afternoon going into tomorrow, I would expect the highest impacts to be in this orange zone. This is where lots of slick spots are going to stick around and delays are going to be possible. I mean, even if we head back over here to, the live camera here in outside of Leonardtown, we continue to see snowfall. I mean, if we take a look across the region, let's head over towards California. Snow continues to fall, accumulating on the roads. We continue to see snow fall here in Lexington Park as we head down towards Callaway. Same story. Snow is falling. Let's head over towards Nanjemoy. Snow falling, not as hard, but still falling. We do see that accumulation out there. Out here towards Newburgh at the 301 Harry Nice Bridge, snow continues to fall. I don't see as much accumulation here. And why isn't there much accumulation over towards this part of Charles County? Because it didn't come down heavy enough. That was those heavier snow rates were either to your south or to your north, so that allowed for the snow to melt as soon as it came on contact. Over towards the Benedict Bridge, we don't see as much falling up this way. Over towards Chesapeake Beach, we continue to see snow fall across the area. If I take off the live banner here, you can see that, we do have some snow in the grassy areas. We continue to see snow here on the roadways. A couple more stops before you take you out towards Brandywine. Snow continues to fall out here, heavy snow at times, causing hazardous weather conditions. Over towards Andrews Air Force Base, this is in Forestville. Snow continues to fall. This continues to be the story we're talking about. And over towards near Annapolis, I don't see as much snow falling out this way, but we still have snow-covered areas. The rates weren't as heavy up here. So when we come back to our graphics here, what I want to do is reiterate. We saw, very different things happen over small zones. We saw areas of, and actually what I want to do is come over here. So let's take off radar. Areas that were let me get over to a black. Like this area here forecast was not nearly, you didn't get as much as I had forecasted. This area, you were lucky to get about 1 to 2 inches. This area right in through here, you didn't see as much. Now, we saw totals, snow totals overperform the forecast really in this region. We saw it meet about expectations in like this general region. So yeah, I mean, in this region we saw about 2 to 3 inches. That was expected. In this region we saw about 3 to 4 plus. Down here near in the southern part of Charles County, we saw more like 1 to 2 at most. Down here we saw maybe an inch, maybe, and up north again that was about 1 to 2. So it really depended on where you were today. That area there in red, that is the area that continuously saw those heavy snow bands move through. And I iterated this yesterday and the day before. We would see a very narrow snow band setup that was no more than like 20 to 40 miles long. It was even smaller than that. And that band set up in this region, and it dumped snow for a lot longer than many had thought it would. Because it set up here, it did not set up to the north, so this was a bust up here. But, here the forecast was met. Down here, the forecast was largely met. This might have been a little bit more of a bust. But here, forecast was a boom. In that red area. And I see Tracy saying, Huntingtown 2 to 3 inches, it's still coming down. So that kind of shows that this is where we generally are. If I were to take you in a little closer to southern Maryland, kind of into our core forecast area right in through here, just to kind of break it down a little bit more for you, give you a more localized look at what we've seen across the region today. It was really this area that saw 3 to 4 inches. It was really this area. This area out here was the 1 to 2. Like up through here, this was about 2 to 3. And then, down this way, it was maybe an inch. So that should be 1 inch. So it really depended on where you were. If you were down in Lusby and down towards St. Leonard and in Hollywood and in Leonardtown and Lexington Park in California, Loveville Avenue, the 7th District, over towards Mechanicsville, even over towards like Charlotte Hall and Golden Beach, you saw a decent amount of snow because those snow bands just continued to move through your area. And we saw that. And up north, the snow switched over by about 6:30, and it stuck around all day. The rates were not as heavy, but you've seen snow continue, and that's why you've seen 2 to 3 inches. And I see one comment about 5 inches in Hollywood so far. Meanwhile, Nancy Hall, the next comment, not much in St. Mary City. So as we had said yesterday, what I want to show you, and just even using that, it's this short distance, that should keep me there. It was really this short distance between Hollywood up here, St. Mary City. Report of 5 inches up here, down here less than an inch. So, like we had said coming into it, it was really going to come down to a matter of miles. And that heavy snow band really cut off right about here. Areas north, let's just call it 3 to 5 now. Area south, you saw 0 to maybe 2 inches. Maybe 2 inches. But that was really the story. I mean, and it's that line. We knew that rain snow line would set up through probably parts of St. Mary's County. And that's exactly where it has set up. And that's where it continues to be an issue. Even still down here, where you're still mixing between rain and snow. And I think that will continue to be the issue. Now, we have seen a decent amount of snow fall across much of the area. Radar continues to have a difficult time trying to pick up on the precip types. But it does show you the general idea that as the back edge, which is, and I'm really happy I bought this tool because it helps me to draw on here. Here's our back edge. It's pushing eastward pretty quick. So that's why I think most of us should be done by 2 p.m. But you see, we do have some areas that are like mixing with snow or mixing with rain occasionally, especially up here along the Potomac River and up here along for Bayside communities. So it's where you've been able to keep the snow coming down heavy that you continue to see the snow, but where you've had an issue with precip rates, that has not been the case. And I see that we're still still snowing in Lexington Park, and this will probably, go on until about 2 o'clock. That's my forecast. For those of you just now joining that, didn't really get to see really what I was talking about a little bit ago. I'll get to that in a second. But road impacts, that is something I do want to touch on. I would expect widespread road issues throughout southern Maryland. And if I really had to narrow it down, it'd probably be through much of Calvert and St. Mary's County. St. Mary's County north of St. Mary City and Great Mills. This is the area where you're going to see slick spots. And we will see some melting this afternoon with temperatures getting up towards 40. But I want to show you our temperatures tonight. And I don't know if I loaded this into my slideshow. My guess is that I did not. There we go. I'm going to save that. Temperatures overnight tonight, Futurecast takes us down into the 20s. You see those widespread blues. That's temperatures tonight that get down below 25 degrees. You see some of those purples trying to show up to the northwest of DC. Those are temperatures down into the teens. So anything that melts tonight is going to refreeze. And the temperatures tonight are going to drop like a rock. So that would be why I do expect these travel conditions to continue to be kind of sketchy this evening and definitely tomorrow morning. And that is why I think there's a 50-50 shot of a delay for some of you. And again, this is very dependent on if you're going to school. If you if you go to a school that is providing, in-building services for staff or students, that this is really who it applies to. If you do virtual learning, this probably doesn't apply to you. And what's really important is that you're going to want to contact your or just look at your school district's guidelines for inclement weather through the pandemic, But we really did see this, kind of take shape here across our region. I see Sarah says Calvert County has no delays anymore, virtual or in person all day. And Sarah, again, I don't know how this works with them. I mean, I don't think that this is enough to close school tomorrow and lead to like an all virtual day. Do they still get sent to school if they can be in by 10? I don't know. And you all will know better than I would. Do not shoot the messenger. I am not a school administrator, and I do not make these calls for any school district. I don't think many of them listen. Oh, they probably do listen to me. Everyone does. Who wouldn't? But, I'm not someone that they consult with, to get school closings. So that is just, my heads up that, school impacts are possible tomorrow. And the big story today, a lot of people said it wouldn't snow because we were above 32. That warm layer is really thin. It only existed here through about 200 miles above your head. Well above that, the rest of the mile above your head, it was below freezing. So those little snowflakes you see falling from the cloud bottoms, they stuck around and they made it to the ground to snow, and it was heavy, wet snow when it came. If I can transition you back over here to radar. And again, you can get all of my forecast for... That's not what I wanted. Coming back over here. And I'll let this loop through, so it'll be a little finicky for a lot of people as it kind of comes through here. And you'll see some snow reports. You see a lot of them coming in here. They kind of filter in and out. And we'll get an updated map of final snow totals. But you see that rain snow had a hard time trying to make it to the south. But you can see these heavier bands set up when it was able to go down to the south. So I'm not sure exactly, how this will impact schools for tomorrow. I would think in a non-pandemic world, though, delays would almost be guaranteed. But, you can see the back edge of the storm. Let's pause this, come over here. The back edge of our storm. It's right... It's right up along here. And we continue to see heavier bands of snow, kind of just circulate through the region. I mean, right now, it looks like some of our heavier snows have set up maybe kind of like this, and then kind of like this, and then kind of like this. I mean, these are really rough drawings, but it gives you an idea. And this is all moving to the north and east. So this will wind down by 2 p.m. Again, for those of you just joining, about 2 p.m. is when this should all be out of here. But, these road conditions will stick around for many of us. I'll see if our models are doing a good idea with the amount of snow we've seen today. So let me check on that. I haven't checked on this in a while. And yeah, and it's showing generally like what we're talking about here. So let me get that marker tool back up here. And I'll use black so you can see it. And this is off, but it shows, this region where you see the brighter colors was that region to see 3 to 4. It was this region right up through here near Annapolis that saw like less than an inch. And then in between, you generally saw 1 to 3. And then you saw less than an inch down here. So, that gradient was tight, and we knew it would be tight. We saw that heavy band setup, and it really just continued to move through the same regions. If you lived... oh my God, what is going on? What is going on? If you lived... Let's get in this region... The heavy snow just continued to move through, and you saw about 3 hours of 1 to 2 inch an hour rates. That's how you can accumulate 3 to 5 inches of snow like that. And some of you are even exceeding my forecasted range of 1 to 3. Up here, not so much. You're like kind of meeting it at 2 to 3. And I definitely want to keep like referring to this so people have an idea of, what's been going on. And I see Jason reports about 5 inches in Hollywood. So, that kind of makes sense. We saw, again, it was in the southern zone that we saw, heavy snow just continue to move through over the last few hours. So it's going to be an interesting, rest of today. So if you're headed out, please remember, just take it slow. You don't got to speed. Taking it back over here. So again, this was Andrews. We head down here towards the Leonardtown. You can see snow continues to fall. Let's see, Tracy, 5 inches easy in Hollywood and still coming down heavy. Oh, yeah. Unless we just measured and we have over 4 inches. Yeah, so again, it's like a 3 to 5 zones, really. It's like Southern Catholic County and Northern St. Mary's County. But snow... it continues to impact us. So make sure you stay aware if you're headed out. If you're one of these cars, anyone in these cars, or you're going to be one of these cars, just stay aware. So stay tuned. I will continue to keep you updated here on, I guess this is streaming everywhere, but you can stay updated on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube. You can get that link over on the website. I'm now also on Instagram, so you can follow me at JB Weather. It's just plain JB Weather. You'll see my face and my school odds forecast. I think those are my only 2 posts up so far. So, but stay tuned. It will be fun, and we have a very active weather week coming up. And I think February will only continue like this. I think we will see a few more wintry events here in Southern Maryland. Probably nothing too big, but these small little events do add up over time. My winter forecast I issued back out in November was for 6 to 12 inches all season, like a seasonal total of that, and we are well on our way. And sure enough, my goldfish do know what's going on. They have been going strong today. You can see the box is open. So, yes, it's been fun. But stay tuned. I'll continue to keep you updated. If we need to do another one of these lives to do some updates, we will do so. But in the meantime, have a nice and safe one. Thank you so much for joining me. Stay safe out there and send me your snowfall reports. Please tweet them to me at JB_weather. You can Instagram them to me now, I believe. Put them on Facebook. Give me some pictures. I'd love to see. And it will help me try to create all forecast analysis that'll go up later on today. So, again, stay tuned. Have a nice and safe one. I'm Forecaster John Bordasg. It has been a fun morning since 1 a.m. covering this with you all. And keep it tuned right here to JB Weather for your latest Southern Maryland weather forecast.